Blade Runner 2049 and Star Wars The Last Jedi were two of 2017's most critically acclaimed films. But neither of them has been nominated for Best Picture at this year's Oscars. In fact, a science fiction film has never won a Best Picture Oscar.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
2001: A Space Odyssey was famously not nominated, and E.T. and the original Star Wars are the only true science fiction films that made the list in the 20th century. What is it about these films that wasn't Oscar-worthy?
Historically, the Academy has valued works from auteurs, works that glorify Hollywood and the process of movie making. Anything that involves a great deal of imagination can throw off the Academy. I would say that Americans have a little more trouble blending genres and considering something that's high concept, sci-fi or fantasy, of artistic merit.
Well, genre films have always suffered at the Academy. A genre film hasn't won Best Picture since Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings finale, The Return of the King. That was in 2004.
Oh, this is just unbelievable, and I'm so honored, touched, and relieved that the Academy have seen past the trolls and the wizards and the hobbits and are recognizing fantasy this year.
The question may be, what can these films do to attract voters?
I believe that Return of the King won because it was a cinematic project that Hollywood had never seen before. I think it won Best Picture because of the technical work done by Weta Workshop and mocap technology. I don't think that Return of the King winning means that something like a Star Wars film is going to be nominated or win Best Picture, or a Star Trek film. It's not a one-to-one comparison. I think in order for Return of the King to translate into a similar film winning Best Picture, it would have to be at that level of construction, which I don't think a film has hit yet. Other genres, yeah, have trouble being recognized. High fantasy. Horror is a big one. Jordan Peele's Get Out, the world is watching what's going to happen with that film this year.
Recent sci-fi entries like Spike Jonze's Her and Denis Villeneuve's Arrival ride the line between science fiction and more classic drama with elegance and style. Yet neither of these films managed to stand up against what some labeled Oscar bait: biopics, weighty dramas, and musicals.
If a science fiction film is nominated for Best Picture, it will always depend on what it's up against. The Academy loves films about Hollywood, about acting, about rebellion under political power or tyranny. They love historical biopics. The Post will be a heavy contender because it reflects the values that we've seen adored by the Academy in decades prior. It's really a guessing game as to what the Academy will agree on now.
But in more recent years, pure science fiction films have fared better. Gravity arguably came closest in 2014.
I do think that the increased number of nominations accounts for films like Mad Max: Fury Road being nominated.
What a lovely day!
However, I think it also has to do with the expansion of the Academy itself. In recent years, they've added more people of color, women, specifically younger people who grew up understanding that sci-fi can be a part of highbrow cinema. So our understanding of genres is different than someone who, has been in the Academy for decades.
With fantasy, sci-fi, and superhero films making up the majority of Hollywood's blockbusters, there's never been a greater disparity between what audiences see and what wins awards.
Moonlight, Best Picture.
But with the Academy diversifying in recent years, perhaps in the not-too-distant future, we can imagine a world where a science fiction film finally wins Best Picture.
We've seen the money that comes with films like that, hard sci-fi. It attracts auteurs now. It attracts people who have a specific aesthetic to apply. I believe that the expansion of Star Wars films will start to attract younger, edgier filmmakers that could graduate into a Star Wars film that looks like the work of an artist and not a corporation.